Hello. So, in this discussion series, we are reading the knowledge sheets from the book Intimate Note to Sincere Seeker. Fire. The senses are like fire. You, your life is like fire. Whatever you put in the fire of your senses burns. The fire from toxic material creates pollution and foul smell. But if you burn incense, it creates fragrance. The same fire that supports life can also destroy. A fire can heat your home or burn it down. Celebration happens around bonfire. Grief happens around the fire of cremation. Are you the fire that creates smoke and pollution, or the flame of camphor that creates light and fragrance? A scent creates light and the fragrance of love. He is the friend of life. When your senses are engaged in goodness, then you will create light. When engaged otherwise, you create misery for yourself and others. It is Sanyam that transforms the quality of fire in you. Next, we will discuss Sanyam. Habits and vows. How to get rid of vasanas, that is impressions in the mind. This is the question for all those who want to break habits. You want to get rid of habits because they give you pain and restrict you. The nature of a vasana is to bother you, bind you. Wanting to be free is the nature of life. When a soul does not know how to be free, it wanders for lifetimes, craving freedom. One of the ways to become free and come out of bad habits is through taking vows. A vow should be time bound. Suppose someone resolves to quit smoking and is unable to do it, he can take a time bound vow not to smoke for 5 days. If someone is used to swearing, he can take a vow not to use bad language for 10 days. Don't take a vow for a lifetime. You may break it immediately. If you happen to break it anyway, don't worry. Just begin again. When you fulfill your vow, pick a new starting time and renew it again. Gradually increase the length of your vow until it becomes your very nature. This is Sanyam, the self-control. Everybody is endowed with some self-control. When the mind falls back into its old patterns, you might feel discouraged, blame yourself, and feel that progress. The second possibility is that you see it as an opportunity for Sanyam and feel happy about it. Bad habits will stop you from blossoming and drain your life energy. Without Sanyam, life will not be happy and disease free. For example, you know you should not overeat. If you do, you will get sick. With practice of self control, you can give a positive direction to your life energy and rise above any habit. Take a time bound vow today and make a note of it. If you break a vow, make a note of it and share the time and date at the next satsang. Then begin again and continue. Tie those habits which bring you pain with the Sanyam. So, one point to note here, he is saying this in a satsang, in a company of good people, in company of chanting mantras, where your mind is filled with positive energy. When you take such vows with positive energy, they have more chances to blossom. People who can't get rid of smoking, drinking, these habits, they are often in very bad company. So your associations affect your mind a lot. as we discussed in a previous knowledge sheet. So make sure that you choose the right company and the right time for taking a vow. Also, when you complete one cycle of your vow for which you have taken a sankalpa or sanyam, you can celebrate for some time so that you feel good about having completed that sanyam. Let's read one more knowledge sheet. The ego. When does the ego come into play? 1. When you don't get attention. 2. When you seem to be losing attention. 3. When you get attention. Ego causes heaviness, discomfort, fear, and anxiety. Ego restricts your genuine expression. Ego is separateness, non belongingness, wanting to prove and to possess. Ego has a positive aspect as well. It is a great driving force. Ego can elevate your spirit and motivate you to do great work. Most of the rewards and recognition are there to offset the ego. Yet, you can't stand an egoistic person and get upset with them. Egotism is born out of ignorance. Rather than feeling contempt for such people, have compassion. A deep inquiry of who you really are brings you the realization that there is nothing to be proved and nothing to possess. This insight elevates you to another level of existence, which is beyond the ego. It leads you to the natural state you are born with. For God's sake, don't get rid of the ego.